Today we celebrate the first step toward overturning the Defense of Marriage Act and sending that ugly law into the history books where it belongs. Along with 90 colleagues as original co-sponsors, we are introducing the Respect for Marriage Act, a bill to repeal DOMA. Our bill ensures that all married couples, including lawfully married same-sex couples, will have the same access to federal responsibilities and benefits, including critical programs like Social Security that are intended to ensure the stability and security of American families. The sky has not fallen, as our opponents had argued it would, and the true harm of DOMA is the harm it causes to these same-sex couples and their families. No government should ever enact or enforce a law that is gratuitously cruel. DOMA is such a law, and it must be overturned.
The legislation that we're introducing today will legally extend to legally married same-sex couples same federal rights and recognition now offered to heterosexual married couples. Nothing more and nothing less. And a growing majority of Americans who understand that denying legal protections to their neighbors because a family has two dads or two moms is simply un-American.
The 13-year-old so-called Defense of Marriage Act singles out legally married same-sex couples. The Respect for Marriage Act wouldn't tell any state who can marry or how married couples must be treated for the purposes of state law, and it certainly wouldn't obligate churches or any religions to marry any particular people. It would merely restore a historical approach to civil marriage.
I speak today to you as an African American, as a woman, and as a person of faith. Since this passage, the American Academy of Pediatrics found that what is crucial is not the sex of the parents or the sexual orientation of the parents, as DOMA supporters claim, but the stability and the permanence of two fully sanctioned and legally defined parents.
At this point in time, we are looking at filing our first married Iowa state tax return. This is new for us. We're still going to have to file a separate tax return and lie on our federal return saying that we are single. And I am not a single woman anymore. I am married. I should have that recognized. And for my government to tell me, no, you have to mark single. It's long overdue. It's time that I can mark married on that form.
The repeal of DOMA would change none of the rules and practices about religious marriage. No clergy person would be required to celebrate a marriage which her or his tradition does not affirm. No church, synagogue, temple, or mosque would be required to welcome LGBT married couples. It is time for us to focus on the real threats to the institution of marriage: the long deployment of service people in Iraq and Afghanistan, the financial pressures caused by the recession, the contraction of support for early childhood education. It is time, my friends, for us to have the right conversations about marriage and how to protect and support it.
I want to read a statement we've just received from President Clinton. Throughout my life, I have opposed discrimination of any kind. When the Defense of Marriage Act was passed, gay couples could not marry anywhere in the United States or the world, for that matter. 13 years later, the fabric of our country has changed, and so should the policy.
Councilor Nadler, do you think your subcommittee will hold a hearing or a markup on this bill anytime soon?
Well, I don't know. We're just starting the process. We have a lot of it, as I said, we have a lot of education to do, and I think it's a little too early to talk about schedules of hearings and markups. We'll do that eventually. I just don't know yet.
Do you think a Senate companion to this bill will be introduced anytime soon?
There will be.
Who will introduce it?
Those are under discussion, and that'll be announced in due course. Any other questions? If not, I thank everyone for participating, and I particularly thank everyone for standing here under this hot sun.